Hi, I'm Amar Sastry from amarguitar.com. In this video, we'll continue breaking down Trey Anastasio's legendary guitar solo in The Great Went Gin. If you haven't immersed yourself in the concepts from the first part of this video, I've left a playlist link in the description, so make sure to check that out. Today, we'll talk about how Trey uses theme and variation to build a compelling improvisation. There's a download link for the tab in the description. Grab your guitar and let's dive in. We dissected bars 1 through 4 in depth in the previous video. As a review, we see that Trey was focusing on the A shape of the C major arpeggio for bar 1. For bar 2, he slid up from the A shape of the C chord to the G shape of the C major pentatonic. Over the last 2 bars, he's still using the C major pentatonic, which has the same notes as which minor pentatonic scale? That's right, the A minor pentatonic. But his chord tones focus on the 3rd of A minor and the major 7th of F, creating an F major 7 in bar 4. For bars 5 through 8, we see that Trey directly repeats what he played for the first 3 bars and then varies what he plays on the last bar. So bars 5 through 8 sound like this. This is the improvised formula that he uses for the first half of the jam and brings us to our second takeaway of the series. Takeaway number 2. Using repetition via theme and variation is a great way to hook the listener because our ears crave that repetition, but we also crave novelty. Keeping the first part of the phrase consistent while varying the last bar gives us both. The variation in the final bar of every 4-bar phrase keeps us interested and wondering what will happen next. In bars 9 through 12, we see the same approach. Trey's thinking in 4-bar phrases, and the first 3 bars are an exact repetition of what we had earlier. Just like he did for the first 2 previous phrases, he switches it up for the last bar in bar number 12. Now here in bar 12, we see that Trey's thinking the C major scale, specifically in the G shape of the C major scale. Let's play that together. So we can see that in bar 12, the last bar of the 4-bar phrase, he changes up the theme again using our C major scale in the G shape over the F chord. Notice how he's still really focusing on that note E over the F chord, creating that F major 7 sound. We see that he's thinking thematically, but performing small variations. Now we're at bars 13 through 16. Let's hear how that sounds. Off the bat, we can see that Trey switches it up at the beginning of our phrase. He uses the same rhythm as he did before, but this time he starts on the 5th of C, which is the note G. This is satisfying to our ear because we have both repetition and variation to start the phrase. Bars 14 and 15 are similar to what he's played before. For bar 16, he opts for the G shape of the C major scale again, this time adding some more notes from the scale and also adding some rhythmic complexity. In bar 12, he used 3 notes of the scale, and now in bar 16, we see that he's using 4. And this is one of those secrets of building a great solo when you're using repetition. Notice how he jacks up the intensity just so slightly every time the phrase comes around. 1 extra note out of the scale here, focusing on the 5th instead of the root there. Let's play bars 1 through 16 as a recap. Let's check out bars 17 through 20. To start off, Trey plays a lick that's very similar to how we started bar 13, but now he's up an octave. He's playing out of the G shape of our C major scale again, focusing on the 5th, which is the note G, and the root, C. He plays over the bar line into bar 18, adding some anticipation. Now in bars 19 and 20, we still have our C major scale in the G shape that he plays over the A minor and F chords. And we see him playing around with the rhythm yet again, hinting that he may take the theme in a different direction. To end bar 20, we have the C major scale, and he takes his focus off of the note E and chooses to focus on the note G, which he plays over the bar line. Over the F chord, the G is the 2nd degree, also known as the 9th. Let's check out bars 21 through 24. This is the first time in the solo where Trey starts a note that hangs over the bar line, which creates anticipation. We've got some more C major scale work happening over the C chord. Over the A minor chord, he plays pretty much the same phrase he's been playing over the A minor chord for every 4-bar phrase up until this point. In bar 24, notice that he plays notes over the F chord that are very similar to what he's played over the A minor chord. All of these notes are out of our parent major scale, which is... that's right, the C major scale. Trey addresses the F chord by actually playing the note F. Notice that he didn't do that over the A minor chord. And at this point, I know what some of you may be thinking. Is Trey really consciously thinking about what notes he's hitting when he's playing? I would say that he's probably not thinking about it from a technical level, but more from an emotional big picture level. Just like when you speak, you're not thinking, okay, I'm going to say a verb, then a preposition, then a noun. It just comes naturally because you've had countless hours of speaking experience under your belt. It's the same way with music theory and improvisation. We are at bars 25 through 28. Here, Trey starts this 4-bar phrase like he did the previous one, with a note hanging over the bar line. Rhythmically, this line in bars 25 and 26 is still fairly simple, but it sounds so interesting because of the syncopations. There's also a bit of tension here because Trey is superimposing an A minor arpeggio over a C chord. This is known as diatonic tension because the notes of A minor, A, C, E, are still within the C major scale. So in bars 25 and 26, two things are going on. Trey shifting back and forth between the G shape of the C major pentatonic, as shown in bar 25, and the A shape of the C major pentatonic, as shown in bar 26. And we've got syncopations to start our 4-bar phrase, which adds a great deal of excitement, especially compared to the relatively straight rhythm that we've started the solo with in bars 1 through 16. Over the A minor chord, we have Trey focusing on the root and minor third of A minor, just like he's been doing this whole time. Over the F chord, we have some more diatonic tensions. All of these notes are within the C major scale, but they are outside of the F chord. An F chord has 3 notes: F, A, C. In this lick, he's playing the notes D, E, and G, D, E, G. He's playing the notes D, E, G over the F chord. These notes are respectively the 13th, the major 7th, and the 9th of F. These chord tones are also known as extensions, and that's why this phrase, on a micro level at least, is very beautiful and exciting. He does add the note A towards the end, which is the major third of F, and gives us a brief moment of resolution. In the next part in this series, we'll see how Trey uses space in his solos, addresses chord tones, and mixes major scales with modes. Hit like if you like this video, hit subscribe if you loved it. If there was an idea that you found inspiring or interesting, let us know in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next video.